over here we have Seymour the Mastodon. It is a collection, a skeleton, all cast from bones found locally in Genesee County. Then in the cases here we have actual semi-fossilized mastodon bones, again found in Genesee County. And it is one of our favorite show-stopping things.
I love it, a mastodon. Wow, what a cool time that would have been.
I agree.
Well, I am here today at the Buffalo Museum of Science with Taryn, who is our guide today.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for being with us. And of course, we're going to look at a guitar exhibit, and who better to walk through a guitar exhibit with than the amazing guitarist, composer, Bobby Lebel.
Thank you.
This will be a fun little tour.
Absolutely. This will be
what is
magnificent.
it? Medieval to
metal.
Metal.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Medieval to metal.
So we're going to see some very old instruments to some very modern instruments.
Ooh,
Exactly.
I like this.
That's what we're going to see.
So over here we have the vicula. It speaks to a moment in history where you were first starting to get stringed instruments that one could pluck that were starting to look like what we associate with the modern guitar
Right.
shape.
Sure.
It looks a lot like a...
It's a 12-string guitar from the 1400s. It's amazing. And commonly you would see lutes, 5-string lutes from that period. So this is neat. I'm not an expert on medieval instruments, but I've seen quite a few and attended exhibits such as this in the past. That's fantastic.
What is this over here? This is so unique.
Over here we have the theorbo.
The theorbo.
Yes.
What is a theorbo?
So it is a stringed instrument that you would pluck. It has a very, very long neck, a wide range of notes that it could do. And it was before things got a little more modern and mobile.
Fascinating.
Nice.
It seems you would slide across the strings with the strings at that high off of the fingerboard. Interesting instrument.
Really
I've truly never seen anything
It's
like
like
it.
a harp on top almost. You would have to pluck it, and I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Well, let's take it out of the case. I'll play
All
it.
right,
See if it
yeah, let's give it a whirl. Oh my gosh, it's Bob Davis, another musician. Oh my God, it's Steve Graham, another photographer.
We've got, it's a fairly small
perfect.
instrument.
What are the
That's
odds?
one and another
Synchronicity.
Sure.
back view, top view. It's got a
10-string.
acoustic or resonance chamber made out of an armadillo on both of them.
Oh my gosh, that is wild.
I wonder
So
how it
that's-
resonates.
That's an armadillo on a...
Yep, it's hollowed out, so you pluck the strings, the sound waves bounce around.
I love this.
That is insane.
Oh, Bobby.
It amplifies it a bit.
We need some of these.
Yeah. So it's a 10-stringed instrument with frets. How fascinating.
Wow.
5 courses, 10 all. Okay.
And this design and design inspiration like it dates back to the 1700s.
Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing is right.
I love it.
Ooh.
Oh, look at this instrument.
This
a
is-
guitar on?
I would say the guitar on is probably my favorite actually. I just really like that it's like an impressive large instrument.
Right.
And even
Right.
though it seems like it might have been difficult, not that it's only past tense, people still play these to walk around with it. It would have a strap. It's a bass instrument technically.
Sure. I saw several mariachi bands in California, and this is what the bass player plays.
Yeah.
The bass player
Yeah, I've
always
seen
plays
them play
the guitar.
the guitar on, yeah.
I think they're really impressive.
And
It
it's got
is.
a look at the size of this body. It's about the size of an upright bass, but
Yeah.
with a very short neck. So the range is limited, but the sound is big.
You can have a nice
That's
booming
so
sound from
cool.
the more space sound waves can bounce around and the louder the sound you're gonna have.
Neat.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's the one that this is an old...
That's the one your
Gibson
friend
Les
had,
Paul.
right?
That's the one that my friend had.
That was common, a Cherry Sunburst 1960.
Oh my God, that guitar sang so sweet. Oh, it had the sweetest sound of any guitar I've ever heard.
So these are actually photorealistic drawings by artist Gerard Huerta. And yeah, he made these.
They made quite a few black Les Paul customs during those
Right.
years and gold tops, but that's driven up the price
This
dramatically on these
This
instruments.
was the first electric guitar I got to hold
Oh,
in my
oh, that's
my
about the
youth.
best one.
In my youth, yeah. We start with the best. There was
And
nowhere to go but downhill from there.
That's awesome. That's a ES355. They started those in about 1958, and the finest electric guitars ever made most of them came out of the Gibson factory in
Yeah.
Kalamazoo, Michigan in the 50s. And Leo Fender's shop he made some of his best instruments up until 1964. Same with Gibson. Great instruments. A lot has been written about these. I had a long relationship with Gretsch.
Mama buy a brand new Gretsch guitar. I fancy being a great big rockin' star.
Did you?
Yeah, I was one of the endorsed artists on their website, and the instruments were made in Brooklyn from about 1882, as I recall, till 1969, and the company was sold to Baldwin, the piano makers. They moved to Boonville, Arkansas.
Well, Chet Atkins was one of the most
Chet.
amazing finger pickers of
He's
all
my hero.
time. I mean, I loved him growing up. On
Yeah.
Hee Haw, that was the show we
Oh,
all
yeah.
used to watch from Chet Atkins.
I forget who made the first lap steels, but Valco was very big. Valco made all of the amplifiers for Gretsch during the 60s, 70s, 80s, and they still do. And they made most of the lap steels that you see. And my lap steel is it's like a Formica or whatever that material is. Mine's red with a white fingerboard. It just jumps out at you, and you need sunglasses.
Of course it does. I would expect you to have nothing less
Yeah,
value than a flashy
Oh, God, yeah.
steel.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Fantastic.
this I remember in
Oh.
my early days of recording down in Tommy Calander's basement. I always mention him.
Oh, a
because
two-track
he was
Sony.
The 2 tracks. We started, and then we had a big, improvement. Went to the 4-track, and then eventually an 8-track.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a real big deal because you didn't have to double over your own vocals.
Yeah, right.
And vinyl, of course, which.
Oh, nothing
Oh,
like it.
and Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller Band with
which
Gary
is,
Malaber on
well,
drums.
Gary Malaber is at our show today. Gary is doing the second part of our show. I'm
Oh.
interviewing him, and there he is. He is the the drummer for Steve Miller Band.
Oh my, please
Yeah, and
tell Gary I said hello.
I will tell Gary you said hello.
Oh my, yeah, that was Gary. He invented the beat on Fly Like an Eagle.
Yeah.
He told me he invented the beat, and I'd never heard anyone else play it previously, so I guess he invented it.
Wow.
Our first interactive moment's right over here.
Oh yeah,
So there's instructions right here. You place the metal
Okay.
tube on the string, and depending on where you divide it will affect the pitch. And of
That's
course, you
crazy.
can slide it as you
Sure,
pluck it
well.
as well. Either way.
Oh, the finest acoustic, in my opinion, made in the past 200 years in this country.
Good knot. That is a cool name.
Everybody
too.
plays a Martin. This is the D28. Hank Williams played a D18, the finest instruments, my favorite acoustic guitar, primarily because what I find on older Martins is the top is a bit lighter than Guilds and Gibsons. When I play a Martin, I feel like the notes are just jumping out, and I don't have that experience with other acoustic guitars.
So we've got a quote exploded guitar there. It shows the different layers, and then
Oh, well, this is how we would build a Strat. So I would buy the pickups individually, the potentiometers, and then the knobs, and it's really, once the neck pocket is properly milled out and your angle is right, you just put the neck on, it's 4 screws. You can build your electronics assembly on your
for
pick
sure,
guard.
why buy one
pop
if you know how
that
to
in.
build one?
I
You
know,
can,
yeah,
and
yeah.
a lot of talented builders make a much better instrument than you can buy
I have a
off the
friend
shelf.
who makes
Cool.
bass guitars, and he makes the body himself and shapes it and does the whole. Yeah.
Oh,
And they're beautiful.
love it. Yngwie Malmsteen, whose album you have over on the wall, he just loves his scallop boards, and that's all he plays. Now he's a.
Now, what's the difference between a scallop board and a flat?
It's just the feel, and if
Right.
you like the feel, and he's a shredder, so I think he likes to play really quickly. Sure. The Italian manufacturer Echo was trying to compete with Fender in the 60s, and they would come out with these really cool, elaborate
It's
guitars.
wild looking. I
Yeah,
love
these
it.
look very much like Gretsch
It
pickups.
looks like it's an Italian guitar. It's beautiful.
It looks like a Ferrari, and it's got
does.
gold sparkle.
It does. It's designed beautifully.
Well, I think
Yeah,
this is one
guitar.
of my favorite things. It's just funny and clever.
I played this probably more than any other
Oh, of
guitar
course.
ever.
Who's not an
like,
air
been
guitar
playing
expert?
around? You probably as well.
Nah.
Right, Pat? No, you
Never
played
an air
real
guitar.
guitars. Never a guitar.
Only go for
I
the
felt
physical
foolish when I
thing.
was like,
1970s. That was the thing to do.
The video game controller guitar really brings things fully into the modern era.
Tell me about that, Taryn.
Well, I think a lot of us have played Rock Band and similar games.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, yes. And even if we're not all necessarily that good at playing it exactly as the game prompts us to, it's definitely a big cultural, iconic thing, I'd say.
Well, thank you both so much
Thank
for
you,
joining
Kathy.
me today. I learned so much about guitars. I'm so grateful. Bobby, again, I want to thank you. Your passion
Thank you for having me.
music and for guitars. You not only are a great entertainer, but you've taken so many young people and instilled that passion in them. You are one of the most amazing, patient, kind, inspiring teachers. I know you're teaching my niece, Rosina, who used to occasionally do a segment here and there with me, but she's retired. I'm trying to get her out of retirement, but you are
Retired at 14, that's
yeah,
magnificent.
I know, right? But you are
Well, we can shape a lot of young minds
Thank you
with
for-
music and art.
Yeah,
So,
we sure
thank you
can.
for having me.
Thanks for joining me today. And Taryn, thank you so
Thank you,
much
guys.
for taking us on this wonderful tour today.
My pleasure.
Thank you for joining us today on this magical ride into passionate living. Join us each week on Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 11. Plus, you can view segments of our show on YouTube at passionateliving.tv or on our website at passionateliving.com. Our goal in producing the show is to inspire you to live your dreams, as your journey will end up affecting the world around you in a powerful way. We hope you'll join us each week as we journey into the realms of passionate living. Until our next adventure, remember to take at least one baby step to bring you a little closer to living your dreams.